Alright, so here we are. We'll talk about the new G.I. Joe movie coming out.
Yeah, it's July 2009.
Is it July 2009 or August?
No, July 2009.
July
I think it's going to
2009.
be coming out for Canada Day weekend or, July 4th weekend, which is great. G.I. Joe, real American hero. Why not come out, on a patriotic holiday like the 4th of July?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen the trailers, we've seen people or not the trailers, but we've seen people talk about it.
Yeah.
One of them was that, I can never think of his name, the kid off of Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, yeah, that Gordon Levitt something or other. Yeah. Yeah, he was talking to Leonard Maltin there on Reels there about it.
And he pretty much, I don't think he meant to do it, but he pretty much buried the movie by just talking about it.
Yeah, I know. Like, first of all, he was saying, like, he's like this over-the-top Hollywood villain, but he didn't come flat out and say who he was playing in the movie. Like, if you look at any of, like, the teaser trailers or something, they refer to his character as Rex, but I'm thinking that was probably, like, his code name when he was with, like, because I guess the way the story's going, him and Duke were part of a special unit before G.I. Joe, so Duke's code name was Duke, and then this other guy's name, his code name was, like, Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he got fed up with, like, the BS that was going on in the military and stuff like that, and so he decided to leave and then, start up his own terrorist organization.
And when I'm watching that, I'm thinking, that's kind of cool in a way, because it brings a serious side of Commander.
Yeah.
But then when he's talking about it to Leonard Maltin, he's talking about this new movie that's coming out, that war movie.
Oh, yeah, Stop Loss. Good movie. Yeah.
And he's saying about how it's a great military movie with soldiers and focuses all on Iraq and all that.
Yeah.
And then he's talking. Then he's like, and then I'm doing G.I. Joe, which is furthest from the military you could ever get.
Military. He even said it's the furthest thing from reality.
From reality.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you basically just said that it's a fucking Star Wars. Sorry for swearing.
Yeah.
A Star Wars.
Like a fantasy
on
movie.
Earth.
Yeah. It's kind of like, this crazy military fantasy movie. I don't know, like, if it's going to be, like, cartoony or campy. Like, someone say it's going to be, Transformers was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even mind that they changed up, like, Bumblebee and Prime, what they look like and stuff like that. But, that's fine.
It was good. It was
good. Yeah.
Stuck to the story. It had a bit of comedy in it, but stuck to the main story.
Yeah.
I still say that Bumblebee should have played the touch when he was in that car scene. That would have been really
cool.
yeah,
that would have been great. Yeah. Instead of it's like I'll drive you home or baby come back. That was classic. But
the touch would have just kind of been that extra sound to add in there.
Yeah,
which would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But and then I'm thinking, all right, that's great. You did a good movie with that. But it was Michael Bay. And Michael Bay knows what he's doing.
Right.
And then you have the guy that's doing the Mummy and all that. And I have nothing against that.
Yeah.
He's doing the Mummy, and it was a good movie, and then he did the Mummy Returns, and then he said Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. I don't know if he had anything to do with the Scorpion Gang, but,
But he did these, like, monster movies, or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's doing G.I. Joe. And I'm like, alright, you went from a cool Michael Bay, I'm taking this movie serious, to a guy that...
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he'd screw it up.
Yeah.
But, like, you said about the Sigma 6 now.
Yeah, the Sigma 6. There was, like, they leaked out, and it showed up on one of those entertainment websites. I don't know if it was IMZ.com or IGN.com, but anyway, somebody got some pictures of the suits, like, from the wardrobe, of, like, the actual, like, combat suits that Scarlet and Duke were supposed to be wearing, and they're like the Sigma power suits. Like, they're these suits that, got, like, electronics and wiring in them, so that not only can you communicate with each other on your wristband comm links, but you can actually, like, control your weapons and your vehicles. And then they also got, like, these things that's like, you turn the wristbands, next thing you know, you got this super power punch, or, like, you turn your boot things, and you got, like, either, like, moon boots, or, kind of like ejector boots or something like that. It's just crazy, like... When
I think of that, I automatically think of the Hulk, the not the new one coming up, but the old one there. Not the old one, but whatever.
Oh, the one Eric Bana one there with Chris Rock.
The Crab Hulk movie.
Yeah.
The dog gets hit and the eyes pop out and all that.
Yeah.
When you say that, I'm thinking they better not do that with G.I. Joe, but at the same time, when you say about, like, the different suits, I can kind of agree with it because it worked in X-Men, and like and even in X-Men they're like, what do you expect us to wear? We yellow spandex. I'm like, it's true, you don't.
Yeah.
If you're Scarlet and she's dressed in black, I seen the picture of that. I'm like, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Because if you have her in the yellow and green, it's like, well, where the hell is she gonna hide?
Right, but like the yellow now is kind of like, it's not like the bright yellow or the bright green, because it's like a really almost like a gray green, like the main part, and then the other part's like almost like a sand color, like she'd almost like if she was in the desert or something.
Yeah.
Like it would blend in there, and like Duke, like his wardrobe fits just perfect. You know, he just wears the green trousers with the, you know, his yellow shirt that he wears, and then of course then he gets into the crazy combat suit, the goggles, so you can see your night vision and your X-ray and all that other stuff, which is kind of a little on the far-fetched side.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're taking like a good movie, like it could be a good military movie, like they did with Transformers, you know, with the soldiers in it. They could do it like that, where they're taking on these robots and stuff like that. But then now
that
it's
was
like,
part of the problem with Transformers. So they focused way too much on the soldiers.
well, because that was
That's why I found
the
it.
special effects would cost too much to do it all.
That's why I found it ruined it a lot. It's focused way too much on the humans. I'm just like, oh, like, but if it costs too much for special effects, they shouldn't have made a movie.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
my opinion is. That's the focus in Transformers. The cartoon was
Yeah.
it's all with the robots.
That's
all
right.
It's about.
Yeah.
And they showed Spike and Daniel and all them like 5 times. That was it.
Yeah.
But this is all about the humans.
Yeah, this is all about G.I. Joe, a special force that's supposed to take on, you know, fight terrorists everywhere, and their main ally is this crazy terrorist organization that goes by the name Cobra. That's like got like action going on all around the globe.
Yeah.
And another thing that I noticed about the G.I. Joe movie, they're kind of like making it what I'm getting from what I'm hearing from like Hasbro and all these other different sites, and then from the cast members that are talking to, like, you know, the different people on, like, you know, Entertainment Tonight and all these other different websites about like how General Hawk is kind of like the guy that runs the G.I. Joe, and it's kind of like, okay, what's happening and where's it happening? And then it's kind of like, you know, they send out a call sign. It's like, okay, this is going to be so-and-so. It's going to be like in the Middle East, or it's going to be like underwater or something like that. So he calls Duke, and then Duke goes through like a computer database, and he finds the best operatives that'll fit that scenario, and then all of a sudden their pager or their beeper goes off saying, oh, geez, I got to report to work, you know, because I got a mission or something. I kind of find that's kind of far-fetched.
Mass!
Yeah, it's like, mass, beep, 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 oh, gotta go, and turn my watch off, oh, time for dinner, you know.
It was like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, like where they call the guys and like, you know,
do.
you know, Duke, you have, you know, 5 seconds to accept this mission, or I'm gonna call you again, you know, kind of thing like that, because, you
We don't
know.
have any detonators in our
Yeah,
systems.
we don't have any like self-destructing mechanisms in any of our stuff. It's like you're doing it because I told you to,
Yeah.
which is kind of good. But you know,
Nah, I kind of think that's kind of lame.
that is lame.
But what I seen in the pictures, the only pictures I've really seen that justify the movie, like you said about the only things that justify the movie in general was you said about Cobra Commander and Duke being friends.
Yeah,
So that's kind of cool. That kind of brings a twist to the story, but makes it real.
yeah,
And then I seen the picture with Baroness in the gravesite and having the funeral, and it shows Duke walking by her, and I was like, thinking somebody dies that she really cares about. And I'm thinking,
I think that could be from like the comic book, because they say they're going to touch with the comic book where Baroness in the comic book, her brother was trying to negotiate with terrorists, and then they heard something outside, so she went into another room.
okay,
And then the terrorists ended up killing her brother, and then Snake Eyes and the Joes come in and kill the terrorist. But then all she sees is when she comes out of the door is her brother dead, the terrorist dead, and Snake Eyes and the Joes standing there. So she's like got this resentment against the G.I. Joe team because she thinks they killed her brother.
but then when you have Duke in the background, I was like, I wonder how that would work.
I have no idea.
I keep picturing like a slow motion scene, and that's
Yeah, but then also there was another thing that they did with the Real American Hero collection when it came back out in 2000, where they lost the rights to the Baroness. I don't know how they managed to pull that off, but they came out with Cobra Commander and the Chameleon, and then the backstory on Chameleon was Baroness's twin sister, which they trained as a Joe, and then when they captured the Baroness, she went back to Cobra as her replacement to try to like defuse or break up Cobra from within.
yeah.
Yeah, but then I have no idea like if that comes into effect there with this funeral thing or whatever, but
Nah, I doubt it.
yeah,
I
but
can see them getting that deep.
no.